All right. When you hear Scott Gottlieb, the former FDA commissioner, say that, it does get a little scary that China might have sort of like the first immediate access or ability to come up with a vaccine or treatment for this coronavirus before anyone else in the world. Peter Pitts is the former FDA associate commissioner, joins us now via Skype from New York City. Commissioner, thank you very much for taking the time. I was surprisingly, leaving China aside, that there are 70 potential vaccines and companies and concerts of companies working each with one another and government entities to come up with something. How soon do you think that something would be? I know it changes by the day in different entities and names, but what do you think?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but the fact that all these companies are working in concert around the world, sharing data, sharing breakthroughs, sharing their failures, points to a more rapid success in finding a vaccine than we possibly could have had before. A year, I think, is optimistic, but I think that it can be done. As far as China goes, it's time to take down the Great Wall of data. China was not forthcoming with its data about COVID. The companies that are developing vaccines in China are not part of the international consortia. That has to change. President Xi has to take off the pigtails and stop the Pollyanna and join the worldwide search for a real vaccine. It's going to be tough. It's going to take a while. We all have to roll up our sleeves and do it together.
Now, since China was the first to deal with this, obviously it might have a head start on how to respond to this. Would that worry you, or in the greater interest of humanity, share and share alike, as we've seen with the polio vaccine and other vaccines in the past? What do you think?
Brilliant ideas come from every place. Some places you can predict, others not. I think if the Chinese are, in fact, ahead of us in vaccine development, they're not ahead of us. We're all ahead of the game, and that's got to be the way we look at it. But we all need to be team players. It can't be looked at as a nationalistic, jingoistic proposition. And we're all guilty of that on occasion. But the Chinese have been very cautious about sharing anything when it comes to data. And when it comes to science, that's just not acceptable. So I think it's a good thing if they can help us all get there faster. I hope that no one views this as a monopoly where they can hold the world at hostage. I think that's an extreme. But I think that a good start is data transparency.
Now, a lot of people get worried. They want to see a vaccine and all of that, and I get that. And even when one becomes available, it's a while before you can take advantage of it. But I did want to ask you, Doctor, about the cases. In the United States, with 760,000 cases so far, around 41,000 deaths. I was surprised to see the official figures from China a little bit more than 8,000. And I'm wondering, that cannot be. It cannot be. It's got to be substantially higher than that, doesn't it?
It does. When you look at the Chinese situation, the official numbers, and you see the Wuhan numbers, which are low, and then you see almost non-existent numbers for Beijing and Shanghai, you have to ask yourself, are we really that naive to think that that's the truth? Clearly not. It's time for the Chinese to step up to the plate and do the right thing, tell the whole story, and become part of the global proposition. It can't just be, oh, look, China has a vaccine. China is sitting on a lot of crucial data that we need to really understand this virus in a number of different ways. And until they do, unfortunately, I'm going to have to be suspicious.
Peter Pitts, former FDA commissioner, thank you, sir, very, very much, and for all your hard work even now to help your president and colleagues out.